What's good? It's Russell Kenner. Today I'm going to be discussing my NXT Battleground predictions. I'm going to jump straight into it. I'm going to start off with what I think is the opening match, which is the six-woman ladder match for the NXT North American Women's Championship between Fallon Henley, Jada Parker, Lash Legend, Michin, Kalani Jordan, and Soruka. This is the most unpredictable match because there are a few people that I actually think can win. My top three is Soruka, Jada Parker, and Fallon Henley. Those are my top three. This is very interesting because you could go with either one of those women. Jada Parker, one of the most over heels in NXT. Fallon Henley, who just recently have her heel turn, they're trying to build that up. Then you got Sol Ruka, who is rising as a babyface, who just recently returned a few like a month and a half ago. So they could go either way with this. This is very tough for me, but I'm going to go with Sol Ruka here. I think it makes sense. I think they're going to have a baby face and a heel champion on the women's side, Roxanne being the heel and Sol Ruka being the baby face. But that could change depending on if Jordan Grace is able to win that match. But we'll get into that later. But I think they're going to have Sol Ruka here. I think they're going to have Sol Ruka here, especially after the recent episode of NXT where she got the victory with all the six women, the six-woman tag team match. She ended up picking up the victor. She was the one that got the pin. I thought Lash Legend had a chance here, but the main thing that pulled me away from Lash was that she's still with Metaphor. I think the only way that she will eventually win gold is when she breaks away from Metaphor. They have been teasing a little bit of her being somewhat of a babyface because recently she's been acting more like a babyface. So they could put a trigger on Lash Legend. She is a sneaky pick, I will say that. Fallon Henley is someone that I think she's my dark horse. I think that she has a real legitimate shot. I think they really want to promote her as being one of the top heels on NXT, especially with her recent heel turn. But I still think that they're still gonna build her heel turn a little bit more. I feel like they haven't done enough with Fallon Henley yet to really make her feel like she's that next top heel. So I think they're gonna wait on that. I feel like Jada Parker should be more of a top heel right now than Fallon Henley as of right now. So Soroka is going to be the one I'm going to pick for her. In my opinion, I think Jada Parker should be the one that wins this. I think she could do great things with that championship. I think she could be a great heel. I really love her character. I think she's the one that should get it, but I'm going to go with Soroka. I think they're going to pull the trigger and give it to Soroka. Next, we got the NXT Tag Team Championships between the OC versus Nathan and Axiom. Now, this one, I feel like this one is probably going to be easy to predict. I'm going with Nathan and Axiom here, but if I'm being honest, it might make more sense for the OC to win. Because the NXT Tag Team division is lacking severely. Lacking. Like I had to look at the roster and didn't realize how lacking it was. And the problem with the NXT, this is one of the reasons why they brought in Karrion Kross. They brought in the Authors of Pain because the tag team division is that lacking in NXT. Like the men's tag team division in NXT is more lacking than the women's tag team division. The women's tag team division on the main roster have more tag teams than the men on NXT. Because outside of Nathan and Axiom, the only real legitimate tag team from NXT is literally Tyron and Tariq, if I'm not mistaken, who just recently got called up from Level Up. And then you have Malik Blade and Idris. That's it. The only other tag team you could count is the OC, but the OC is not an NXT tag team. They're on the main roster, and eventually they're going to go back. So you really only have three legit tag teams. That's it. There's nothing else. And all of them are baby faces. Where if the OC was the win, you still have the same problem, but you could interact with three of the babyface tag teams. Because having a babyface versus another babyface, that dynamic can get a little awkward depending on how the build is, where it's more natural to have the natural build with the OC. Now, with me being saying that, I still think Nathan Axiom is going to win, but I'm very sure to see what they do with these tag titles because the tag team division is very lacking. So either they need to call up some people from Level Up or something because the tag team division is way too lacking because all the tag teams left. Because Chase U are not a tag team anymore. They're just a faction. They're not really. I don't even know if they're single competitors either because they don't really have singles matches as well because they've been dealing with the Ridge Holland storyline. So Chase U, they're not there. You don't got the family anymore. So yeah, I'm going Nathan Axiom, but the tag team division is very lacking. Logically speaking, it would make sense to give it to OC, but the Good Brothers, but I don't see them pulling the trigger. I got Nathan Axiom winning. Next, we got the North American Championship with Oba Fimby versus Joe Coffey and Wesley. I like what they done here. I really like what they done here. Joe Coffey make his turn a few weeks, like 2 weeks ago, attacking everyone, attacking Trick Williams, you know, attacking Ivar, attacking Josh Briggs, being able to get in that spot. Really love what they've been doing here. Wesley recently returning. He wants to get his North American Championship back, and he got the dominant, unstoppable force with Obafemi here. This is a really good match. Now, this could be a way to get Obafemi off the championship, to have it in a triple threat match, to have it to where he doesn't get pinned for the title. But I don't see that happening. Obafemi is my pick here. I just don't see Obafemi losing that quickly. I think he's going to have a long reign. I think Obafemi is going to have a long reign here. I think this triple threat match is just to protect one of Joe Coffey or Wesley. Don't know who is going to get pinned here, to be honest with you, because you could go out of the way. I just have a hard time seeing Joe Coffey winning this, and I also have a hard time seeing Wesley winning this as well. If I had to pick anyone to win outside of Oba, it would be Wesley, because he's going to be the. I don't know if he's going to be the fan favorite, but he'd be the second. He. I would say him and Obafemi are tied for like who's the most liked, or who's going to be the main face who wants to win this match. It's very hard to tell, but I'm gonna go with Obafemi here. I think he's gonna have a long reign. I just don't see him losing it anytime soon. But this should be a good match, though. I'm very interested to see how this plays out, though. Next, we got the NXT Underground match between Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice. This has been really good. Started off with them two being a duo, being a tag, well, not really a tag team, but them being friends. Them fighting off Carmen Petrovich and Natalya. But after Shayna Baszler, after their tag team match, when Natalya versus Natalya and Carmen Petrovich, they ended up losing that match. Shayna Baszler took the pin, if I'm not mistaken. Then, yeah, if I'm not no, I think Lola Vice may have took the pin. Either way, one of them took the pin. Shayna Baszler tries, try to hug her and try to, give her a handshake, but Lola Vice ends up turning on her, and that's how this rivalry started. I love what they've been doing here. They haven't been getting as much TV time as lately, but the build has been solid so far. I like what they have done. I think it only makes sense for Lola Vice to pick up the victory here. I like Shayna Baszler. She will be the babyface in this match. I think it only makes sense for Lola Vice to end up picking up the victory here, in my opinion. She's the, of course, the NXT star. She's going to eventually get called up to the main roster. She's definitely going to be one of the main women that WWE are going to build up, especially in this women division. I can already tell she has the look, she has the personality, she has the gimmick that could really go far. So I think that only makes sense for Lola Vice. Build her up as one of the more credible women on the roster. Shayna Baszler, after she's done with this feud, she's probably going to go back to the main roster. She's probably going to go back to the main roster. I don't know I think Natalya is still on NXT, but she's more of a mentor. I think Shayna Baszler eventually is going to go back, because I don't know what Shayna Baszler would do on NXT personally. I don't know what she would do on NXT personally to stay there. So I think it only makes sense for Lola Vice to pick up the victory here. Next, get Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. Jordynne Grace hosts the TNA Knockouts Championship. You got a TNA and WWE crossover. I love this personally. Especially with Roxanne Perez not having credible opponents. She has a credible threat right here. Now, this is very interesting, because they could actually pull the trigger and put it on Jordynne Grace. If they want to, have this friendship, be a good friendship, they could put an NXT Women's Championship on Jordynne Grace. And she could actually defend it, because Thursdays you got TNA, Tuesdays you have NXT, so she could do both. And she could, flow between two shows. And plus, Roxanne Perez, in my opinion, she's been a very solid champion. I like her as champion, but she really don't have much to do in NXT. She's kind of done it all in NXT. She really don't have much left to do. She could really get called up to the main roster, and then you can have Jordynne Grace as that top dominant champion. Now, the other problem with that is, I don't know who beats Jordynne Grace if you put the championship on her as well. But at the same time, we kind of have the problem with Roxanne Perez, because I don't know who beats her either. But my pick is going to be Roxanne Perez. I think it only makes sense. I don't think WWE is going to put one of their top NXT top championships, even though it's on NXT. Still, I don't think they're going to put one of their top championships on TNA, on a TNA star. I don't think it's going to happen, especially because I don't think Roxanne Perez is going to get called up. Because from my point of view, I can't remember from my time of watching WWE where recently, especially, where NXT get called up from the main roster without a draft. I can't really remember. The only person I remember getting called up to the main roster without a draft is Zoe Stark. That's it. Every other NXT call up on the main roster, especially like within the last like 2 to 3 years, have all really had a draft to call them up. I can't remember them just randomly appearing on Raw or SmackDown. I just don't see it. So I think Roxanne is going to win. I still think this is somewhat predictable, but I can see a world where Jordan Grace wins. But that's only if Roxanne gets called up. But I don't think she's going to get called up though. Now we get to the main event: Ethan Page versus Trick Williams. This is very interesting. Really love what they done here. I really love what they done here with Ethan Page making his arrival, attacking Trick Williams. Last week attacking Trick Williams. Then on a recent episode of NXT, he had the whole contract signing. He didn't have to sign a contract. He had crazy demands. Then he finally come to an agreement with Ava. She ends up signing off on his demands. Now he got the title shot. This is very interesting here. I love what they've done here. Now I will say this: they have built up Ethan Page in terms of him being a main event threat, where low key you could pull the trigger and have him win. I don't see that happening though. The only reason is because if this was any other champion outside of maybe like Ilya Dragunov or something like that, or Braun Breaker, but I feel like Trick Williams is just too popular of a babyface right now. I don't think they take that championship off. I just don't. I have a hard time believing that they're just going to take the championship off of him after his because this is his first technically pay-per-view. This is his first technical this is his first title defense. Now that I think about it. Yeah, this is it because he hasn't been able to defend his championship at all since Spring Breaking, and this is the first pay-per-view that they had since Stand and Deliver. So this is actually his first title defense. Now that I think about it, I just don't see a world where Trick Williams lose the NXT championship that quickly. It would very much surprise me, but yeah, I just don't see a world where Ethan Page wins this match, especially if he doesn't have any type of backup or interference. Because I feel like the only way Trick Williams is losing this title is through some type of shenanigans or interference, in my opinion. So I have Trick Williams winning this. I'm very excited for this match. I can't wait to see what Ethan Page does in the ring, because Ethan Page has impressed me. He has impressed me with his promo skills, with his charisma. He has been really great. I can't wait to see him how he does in the ring. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Especially this pay-per-view is going to be in the NXT octagon, bro. Like, I can't wait. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait for this pay-per-view. I'm very excited for this pay-per-view. This should be amazing. But you guys let me know what you guys think. Leave down your predictions and comments down below, how you feel about the build, how you feel about the matches, and let me know who you guys got winning. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Excited for this pay-per-view. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say here. But yeah, that's it.